Welcome back to the Onshape tutorials. In this video we're going to add the thread onto the body of the torch. So again, this time we're going to create a new work plane, and this time it's going to be offset from the top work plane. So I'm just going to right click on the top work plane and select offset plane, and I'm going to change that distance to 10 millimeters, and I just want to make sure that that's above, which it is. We can see from the arrow and we can see it drawn there. So I'm going to click the tick, and then I'm just going to right click on there and rename that plane, and we're going to call that the thread plane. Hit enter and we're ready to go. We're going to create a helix from which to put the thread around, and then we're going to create the thread profile, and we'll effectively tell that thread profile to follow the path of the helix to create the thread. So we're going to click on the outside surface of our torch, and we're going to select the helix tool up here. So that brings up a dialog box, and all we're going to do is change the number of revolutions from 4 to 5. The start angle is 0 degrees, which in a CAD package seems to be the 3 o'clock position, and everything else is right. We want a clockwise thread, which is a normal thread, so we're going to leave that as it is, and we're just going to then click on the tick, and you can see we've got this helix sketch drawn. The next thing we're going to do is to draw on the thread profile, and this is going to go on our thread plane. So right click on the thread plane, left click on new sketch, then press N so that we're viewing normal to it. And we're going to start off right over on this corner over here. Simply going to pick up the corner rectangle, and starting in that bottom right hand corner, I'm just going to drag out a rectangle, and then I'm going to dimension that. So it's going to be 1.5 millimeters high. So enter in 1.5 and hit return, and it's going to be 1 millimeter wide. So just change that to 1, and that's it. That's our thread profile created. So we're now just going to sweep that profile around that helix. It's as simple as that. So we're going to go up to the features tool, and you'll see it's not there at the moment. That's because we're still in the sketch. So to be able to do this, we need to leave the sketch. So we normally, when we're applying features to sketches, we stay in the sketches, but for a sweep profile we need two sketches. We need the path and we need the profile of what we're going to sweep, and therefore we need to be out of both sketches. So click the tick to say that we're happy with the sketch we've drawn, and then we're going to sweep. So I'm just going to move, right click over here and go isometric so we can see what's happening. So first of all, we need to change it so that it says add. So we're going to add this to our torch. It's not going to be a new part. So faces and sketches and regions to sweep. So I'm going to select sketch 15 over here, and then the swept profile, we should be able to select that from over here as well. If that doesn't work, we can pick it up over on the model, and you can then click the tick, and you can see that we've got the thread drawn. Now we're just going to tidy that up in a moment, so we're going to create another sketch to do that. So this sketch is going to be on the thread work plane as well. So right click on the thread work plane, left click new sketch, press N to view normal to, and then we can zoom in. First of all, we're going to create a center line, so pick the line tool and the construction tool, and we're just going to go from the origin and come straight down. Hit escape so that we've just got a single line. We're now going to use the corner rectangle tool, and we're going to draw two corner rectangles. The first one is going to start on the outside of the thread and come halfway, and the last one is going to be right in the corner over here. So again, I'll zoom in and you can see it's picked up that inside corner, and we're going to drag that one down to here, and we'll dimension that. So with the dimension tool, that wants to be 1 millimeter, and that distance wants to be 3 millimeters. And then using the scroll wheel on the mouse, zoom out, and we can dimension this. Now you'll probably find that because we've picked up those points, that's going to be 0.75, and that one's going to be 1 millimeter. The reason is we started from this corner and we used lined it up with the midpoint here. If you didn't do that, as long as you started on this corner, you can then dimension it 1 millimeter and 0.75 millimeters. So let's zoom to fit. So we can see our sketches down here. We've got our center line. Now all this really is going to do is it's going to clean up the start of the thread, and it's also going to put a cleanup at the end of the thread that also creates a recess for our gasket to fit into. So with the sketch still open, we're going to go to revolve, and we're going to remove material, and the revolve axis is going to be our center line. So just click on there, and that should revolve round, and we just click merge with all just to make sure that it is going to take it off. Click on the tick, and as we go round, if we now look over here and zoom in, you can see that the thread starts part way in. So that's just cleaned up the edge of the thread that might be overlapping over here, and you can see that we've also got a thread that phases out here, and we've got room for the gasket. So just right click and go to isometric, and that actually is all we're going to do for the moment on the body. In the next video we're going to use the body to help us draw a new part. Thanks for watching. See you next time.